Hi, and welcome to 8 Days on the Western Front, our tribute to the fallen of World War One, and especially the ex-pupils of Bellahouston Academy in Glasgow. This is the sort of post-video, post-roundup of what we achieved in the 8 days, and obviously just a little rundown of highlights. If you're looking at planning a visit to obviously the Somme or the Ypres area, then maybe this will give you a little insight into places to visit if you're looking for places to go. So yeah, I mean, all in all, we actually visited 100 cemeteries. I think 100, 101, 102 cemeteries. Memorials, there was like 26 memorials we ended up getting round. Places of interest, and probably about 18 of them. Bellahouston boys, as I say, the whole journey of it was to lay these little placards on the graves of Bellahouston boys. Now, I think originally we were planning to do about 107. We ended up doing 102. One of them, we went to the cemetery and he wasn't there. So that was admin on me, probably put the wrong cemetery because even the grave numbers didn't even match up. So it was probably, I need to research that and obviously go back and visit next year, which is already in plans in place. So yeah, so 102 we got. There was 4 out with that we didn't get to due to spending a little bit longer time at a couple of the memorials which had our family, myself and Dennis's family members there. So we spent a little bit more time there, which put us behind schedule and we couldn't pick that back up. So we had to miss out 4, which again, we will be visiting next year. Definitely. So yeah, VC winners, we ended up 95 in total. A few extras that we added, which we'll get on to later because we did reroute a whole journey on the last full day. So yeah, footballers, 162 of them we visited and paid our respects to. And some 10 cricketers as well. So yeah, all in all, we probably covered an extra few miles. So I think roughly about 900 miles. So, not too bad in the 8 days, I mean, highlights, I mean, there's a lot of them, and everything, everything, just paying your respects. There was lots of emotion going on, just finding things that, and I think, it all started within, I think, the first couple of cemeteries we went to Etaples. Now, being on the coast, we thought it was probably a small one, not as big. And it's nothing prepares you for when you walk along that grass path, because you see the cross at the end, and then when you get to the cross, it just opens wide and it's just vast. It's a vast, beautifully laid out cemetery on this side of a hill. Yeah, that was probably one of the things, that just really struck me, was the size and vastness of Etaples. And I would probably put that up there that, if you're ever going out there, it's a must visit, it is a must visit one. From then we moved inland to the smallest one we went to, which was Wavens. Wavens. So that was the smallest one. Only 44 souls buried there, one of them being a VC winner and the most decorated British flying ace of World War One. And he was a VC winner there. So yeah, again, to see that middle of nowhere, 44 graves just sitting there. So yeah, that was it. Again, I said we moved in, there's so many things on Dylan, the Lingfield Memorial, the poem on the Linfield Memorial was quite, moving, got, again, another must is the Devonshire Trench Cemetery, where, just the whole bit of that Devonshire and what happened on July the 1st that day is a must. You must visit the Devonshire Cemetery, no matter whether you're from Devon or not. As you can tell, we're not, but it's something you must. I would always say you have to visit is the Devonshire. I mean, we ended up going to the last 2 recipients, I still can't say that word, recipients of the VCs in the Western Front area anyway, and that was a way out to away east. We travelled to Ors Cemetery, communal cemetery, and Alfred Wilfred Owens, the poet, was also buried there, and that was quite a small one to have two VCs and obviously a poet. So yeah, I think all in all, as we were in the Somme area, they are there and thereabouts. It's the size of the memorials. When you get to the memorials and see all the names on the walls, and I mean, we did spend a lot of time doing that because we had to find Bellahouston boys, you know, to the extent that the Arras one, you know, Tynecourt goes without saying is the largest one, you know, the Lewes one was rather big, Pozieres, Thiepval, you know, and even to the one that we, you know, obviously Lewes was where Dennis's great-great-grandfather has got a name on the wall, and then La Tourette as well, which again, my great-uncle's name's on the wall there, and I thought, oh, it's a small one, and when you get there and realise the amount of names on the wall, I think that's what hits you the most, seeing all the names, and especially when you're looking for names and you're travelling down all the panels, and there's just row and row of names, it does get to you. It does kind of, you know, get and think, wow, you know. Again, other bits, standing in the footsteps of Geoffrey Mallins, who filmed the explosion at Hawthorne Ridge at, you know, 7:20 on July the 1st, standing in the exact spot where he was videoed, and then obviously the photographs he took of Sunken Lane, and sitting there taking a photograph of the exact spot where the Lancashires were sitting, waiting to go over the top. And then now there's a little bit that you can go up and over the top, so going up and over there and into that field and realising didn't stand a chance really. Again, very emotional all round that whole area, and again a must for somebody to visit, you know. So that's it. Again, you know, we're still in the Somme area, and you know, so much to do in the Somme area, I guess, as there is in Ypres. So, you know, I say we went to Leipzig Redoubt, where a lot of the Bellahouston boys did actually fall, and just started walking about there. It's only a small, tiny little bit of wood, but that was obviously where a lot of the Bellahouston boys did actually fall. You know, and of course, last place on the Somme wasn't on our list to go, but we went and paid our respects to Willie McBride. Both of them. So yeah, again, you know, that was it. I mean, that 4 days, lots crammed in those 4 days of the Somme area. I think possibly we did cram too much in, and it kind of took its toll on us. We were pretty tired as we started heading up towards Ypres, you know. But obviously, you know, we paid our respects as we travelled up. Once in Ypres, we started, you know, doing everything there. There's quite a few museums. The Passchendaele Museum is a must, you know, and they've got a new feature there, which is, I won't say too much because I say you must go to these museums. You try any, I mean, even to the one in Albert is a cracking little museum underground, you know, all creative, you know, pick up these museums, go in and see them. It's all history there, and it does, but there's a new feature, I won't say too much about it, in Passchendaele Museum, and you sit there and you're enthralled in the whole battle, or the whole 3 battles of Ypres, so that is something you should do as well, you know. Of course, we paid, again, another song, Sing It for the Boys. We paid our respects to Jimmy Spears, the footballer, who song was written after him, you know. And then obviously we were there up in Ypres for Anzac Day. We did travel around a lot of Australia, New Zealand memorials, cemeteries, and we ended up taking in the last post on Anzac Day, the evening of Anzac Day, where they had somebody playing the didgeridoo. They had a few New Zealand soldiers and Australian soldiers saying a few things, so it was quite moving on Anzac Day, doing the last post at the Menin Gate. Again, you know, people we visited, Noel Shavaz, the only one of 3 double VC winners, and to walk down behind somebody's garden, and the cemetery is behind. I know the cemetery was there before the garden was, the house was, but generally at the bottom of somebody's garden there's a small cemetery, and there lies a double VC winner. You know, just taking all that in is just, you know, and just, you know, just all different, you know. It's like different little things that you'll have, you know. Probably Dennis has got things to take away from this, as much as these are just sort of my rantings of things that I've taken away from it. And then of course on the Friday, the day before we left, we did change our plans a couple of days prior to that, because we'd been told we must go and visit Mons. Now Mons is sort of southeast of Ypres, about I think about 100 miles, 90 miles or so away. You know, it took us, all in all, it was about a 4-hour round trip, and going to the cemetery there was just, that was another, I won't say highlight, but that was another, you know, thought-provoking thing, that you believe to be the first British soldier to die in the war is buried 15 feet away from believed to be the last soldier to die in the war. You know, it's like 4 years apart, but they're buried 15 foot apart, if that. You know, and then obviously there's a VC winner who was the first recipient, or first VC winner. Dease, him and Godfrey were the first two, and Dease is buried there, just across from an Iron Cross winner, or believed to be an Iron Cross winner as well. But Dease and Godfrey, they held the Niemi Bridge, which we did go up and visit, was the Niemi Bridge, which railway bridge, which they held. And I mean, I think Dease was shot 5 times and he was kind of dragged away saying you need to get help, and he didn't want to leave his post, but and he succumbed to his wounds. Godfrey took over and defended the bridge, you know, and both of them went in VCs, you know, so. And then obviously visiting Essex Farm, John McRae, it speaks for it, no, you know, in Flanders Fields, doing that one. And then there was a 15-year-old Canadian who lied about his age and died out there as well. So all in all, an eventful trip. Already planning trip 2 next year, which we will pick up on. We'll be probably going back there next year, and keep your eyes on, because at the moment we've had a reporter contact us where we may be doing a little feature for one of the Scottish newspapers, but at the moment that's still early stages, so keep your ears peeled. I say, if you've enjoyed this journey with us, then please subscribe, hit the like button, and least we forget.